Get ready to quit the build. The QTB crew is rounding up all the gaming news and hot topics of the week with a little extra something. And here are your hosts, Bruno, Brad, and Nick.
What it do? You're listening to the QTB podcast. I'm your host, Bruno, and with me are the Brothers McMuffins back again once more. It's Nick and Brad of QTB, our co-hosts. What it do?
Bruno, look, you're very nice. You're introducing us, but I think that the more important thing here is, and I'm going to push my soundboard, because we need to give a big QTB welcome to you for coming back. It's been a while, man. We missed you. There it is. Woo. Man, my audience is louder than yours.
I am so excited to be back. I am. What? Yes.
You were ready.
I'm really gonna enjoy this.
For you. It's for all of you
This
out
is a
there.
bop.
It is. We're back, baby.
Amazing.
Oh man. We had
Love to see it.
to know it was coming, Nick. We had to know it was coming.
Yeah, he's been plotting this for weeks, right? If there wasn't something good on standby, then what's he been doing, right?
Why even take a break, right?
So Bruno,
Yeah.
welcome back. What's life been like? How was the break? I mean,
The break's been good. For those of you who don't know, I now have a son. I am a father. So, yes, thank you. Whoa, yes. Baby Koa Josiah was born on May 24th, and mommy and baby are happy and healthy. So I am excited to be back with little sleep and just ready to go with everything. Everything's new. We're all new here. We've got it's new to me. It's not new to everyone else out there listening or anything, but I guess if you're watching, I might be new because it's been a while since I've been on the podcast, right?
yeah.
That's right. And
Well,
I mean, go ahead, Brad.
I was gonna say, and because now, your son's here, the trio of the Quit the Build podcast 2.0 is now complete. So,
That's right. All gamer dads,
boy.
yeah. We got
Them
it done. There you
boys.
go.
we got them
Them boys, yeah. The
them
next
junior
generation,
boys,
right?
The next generation.
The legacy.
QTV. There we go.
That's it. Oh, man. Well, we had so many great guests there while you were on break. But
loved it.
It's great to have you back, man, and get back into the flow of things. And what a great week for you to come back. You want to talk about a banner episode for not only Quit the Build, but the QTB network, because a little bit later we'll be getting into the Summer Game Fest, all the amazing reveals that happened there with the Xbox and Bethesda Showcase, and I mean many others as well. But we have to announce, and this is a very exciting announcement, that starting this week, we now have the Winner Arcade as the official sponsor of the QTB network. Welcome aboard. Yeah, it's very exciting. So
That's what I'm talking
a little bit of
about.
history there. Yeah, this is just fantastic stuff. We're thrilled to have him on board. So if you've been on our TikTok, you may have seen one of our pinned TikToks is the Weasel Ball song, which we played in the pre-show. That is a jingle that we actually wrote for, and we had Beat It produce the music for this jingle for Winner about, let me just play. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Balls are awaiting
Come on.
in an online arcade game.
Because they got a crane game with Weasel Balls. You remember the Weasel Balls, like a Cracker Barrel?
Tokens you
Love
can
them.
use right
Always had them rolling around in there.
Yep.
Place a win.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. That's right. I saw him.
I
Hold
won
on.
this on my first try.
I love it.
That's a real echo.
It was
That's
incredible.
a real freeze frame. That's real
It's a
freeze
real
frame
freeze frame.
material right there, okay?
That's a summer bop
Straight
if
from
I've
the
ever heard one.
90s.
Amazing. But yeah, so we are partnering up with Winner Arcade and Playtertainment to really provide some fun stuff coming up. We've got live streams from our QTB network, streamers like Kung Fu Penguin. This Thursday, he's going to be streaming the Winner app. And let's just get right into it, because today's episode is brought to you by Winner. Now, look, and I got to tell you, I am a big arcade nut, okay? I go nuts for arcades. I love, the heyday of the classic arcade experience, but it's hard to come by these days.
Yeah.
And these types of apps are amazing. And I had played other ones before, but Winner Winner, when I jumped into it, I immediately noticed, wow, the quality of these machines is great because they are actually based in the States. They are in Las Vegas. Just an incredible warehouse that's just filled with these amazing and unique live claw machines. And with the Winner Winner app, you can play with them right on your smartphone. They've got amazing prizes. Oh, yeah. People go nuts for this stuff. Brad, you love a good old-fashioned arcade game, right?
It's just like what we like to talk about with the classic Nintendo games and stuff. It's that feel of nostalgia and childhood where that when you win and you get that prize, like there's nothing like that, right? And to be able to do this and play through the app through Winner Winner, it's such a trip down memory lane.
Right. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, there's so many, like I said, there's so many great plushes, accessories, collectibles, even gift cards. I've already won some amazing
you
Kirby
got
swag.
One right there. There you go.
I've got the plush. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we shop, please. I got the Jerby. I got a drawstring bag. Look at this. He can hold stuff. He's got my Switch controllers in there. There you go. Just a void of Kirby. Yeah, and wait for this. I'm gonna mess up my hair for the podcast. I got the Kirby beanie. Look at this.
Oh yeah.
I can't put it on. I'm gonna ruin my headphone and my hair. But yeah, the Kirby beanie.
Keep it on. Keep it on the whole entire.
Super kawaii, as they say. Super kawaii.
And Nick.
Yeah.
How
my hair's
easy,
ruined.
How easy and fun was that to win that on the app?
It's very simple because it's a skill-based claw machine. There are a lot of arcade games that the grip strength is rigged right until a certain amount of money goes in. So it doesn't matter how good you are, but every game you have a chance of being a winner. I had ones where I went in there and won like a $35 Switch gift card on my first try. So every game can and will be a winner if you know what you're doing. So yeah, make sure to check out the app. And hey, with any purchase, shipping is free for life. Even like a $2 token package, whatever you win, they're going to ship to you for free for life. And if you don't like your prize, you can exchange it for tickets, okay, in the winner's circle. So if there's any prize that you want, exchange the prize that you have, get the tickets, and go get the other prize that you want. There's a very fair exchange rate there. And you can even play for free. And this is the cool part about the app. There's no registration needed. If you download the app, before you even sign in, there's a play for free button. If you tap on that, it's going to let you pick from a selection of prizes, and you get to play for that prize for free until you win. So you've got free gameplay awaiting you and a free prize as well. You cannot go wrong with this app. It's a lot of fun. So the link to download, Brad is dumbfounded.
I mean,
he's dumbfounded.
For our listeners and our audience, you cannot. I mean, this is a deal. You can't pass this deal up. It's too good. You got to go download it right now. You got to go check it out.
It's just great seeing people bring the classic arcade experience back in such a unique and fun way, right? And what better way than a claw machine? So yeah, the link to download the app is in the description for this episode. And if you visit the link for their pay site, which is a separate website, you can buy credits on the app, but if you use their pay site and you use promo code QTB at that site, you're going to get 30% bonus tokens on your next purchase.
Hey.
So you're getting a nice... Get them rangs. Oh, yeah. I think that's Sonic. I think there's some Sonic merch in there somewhere. There you go. So check it out. And thanks, as always, for the first time, really, but we've been working with them for a while. Thanks so much to our friends over at Winner Winner Arcade. Well, folks, we've got to get into the news because there is a lot to get into. This has been an incredible week. So many trailers, reveals, and we're going to try and get into the heavy hitters, right?
Well, I was going to say, Nick, we were talking lately, no offense, but the last few weeks have been a little light, right? We've been waiting for something to come through the chain and the pipeline. Yeah. And home run this week, we've got two big stories to recap. So kick us off. What do we got?
Yeah. Well, Jeff Keighley was waiting for Bruno to come back. That's what it was.
That's what it is. You know it. That's why it's been dull and your boy is back.
Yes.
Just letting everybody know he's here.
There you go. All right, so let's get right into it. And as always, our live chat that's watching this live on YouTube will be able to contribute there with their comments on this as we go through. And this was a really, I think the first one that we're going to touch base on here, which is the Summer Game Fest itself, right? The main attraction. Hosted by Jeff Keighley. There was a lot of interesting reveals here, and I think expectations were tempered. We knew, especially, that we're still in this era of challenges and getting games developed, that there wasn't going to be any huge surprises. So we kind of all went in with bated breath. But let's just jump right into it, guys. So one of the first things that we saw, and I'm going to kind of go down the list and just land on some of the big ones that people really are talking about, because there's just so much to get into. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So, and this is not the remake of the original Modern Warfare 2. they love getting confusing with the titles. This is its own game. It's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which is it's very much its own game. And even on October 28th, we're going to be getting the debut of Warzone 2. Bruno, do you think now that Call of Duty is finally getting away from that annual release cycle that they claim they're going to try and get away from? Do you think this game has any legs?
I'm sure for the hardcore fans, people are excited for this one, boy. I mean, the Call of Duty fan base runs deep. Like, it's like the Madden fan base. It doesn't matter that it's the same game every year. They're going to buy it and they're going to love it. Like, everyone's going to have fun. But I think this is one of the favorites of the community, right? For me, I would say I think that Warzone already offers most players the experience that they want. So kind of going backwards a little bit into the arena style portion of Call of Duty, those were the heyday of really intense, shootouts and search and destroy matches and whatnot. So it became part of what made Call of Duty what it is to this day. I think it's to me, I feel so oversaturated with the Call of Duty genre that I don't feel like this is the answer either. You know what I mean? For me, at this point, I would much rather see something like the Master Chief Collection and have like the Modern Warfare Collection and have Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3 all bundled together in a nice package instead of splitting it up like they've been doing. Because it's, you look at something like Master Chief Collection, which definitely took a while to get off the ground. But now, I mean, it's amazing. You go in there, you can play Halo 2, 3, 4, Reach now, and ODST stuff. Mm-hmm. So it provides everything all in one. And I think that at this point, that's kind of what, we want. We expect more. I think the landscape of gaming is changing, and I think that gamers are already expecting more, which is what we kind of saw with the Xbox Showcase, which we're going to be talking about later. So what about you, Brad? I mean, you played Call of Duty a little bit. We've played in the past. Is this something for you to be like, I would revisit this? Or are you kind of like me where you're like, I've got Warzone. What else do I need, right? Like,
I think maybe Warzone 2 is the only area where I would check it out. To me, a new map, maybe there's new points of interest, maybe it alters or enhances the gameplay, or I think Warzone's been out long enough now where everyone has their landing spot, their rotations. Like there's a kind of a change of pace, kind of like with Fortnite's new seasons and map reveals. It kind of really revives the game, makes it fresh. I feel like Warzone 2 may be a breath of fresh air when it comes to that online multiplayer experience, but I don't know. I feel like the campaigns have been muddled for me for years. So, I don't really, I'm looking to see what maybe carries over into the Warzone 2 map and how that may end up, how folks move from what the reaction is from Warzone to Warzone 2 with the new map and the interest there. So that's where I'm looking for it to see whether it really clicks or not.
Yeah, I mean, campaigns are very important. I think but it's just so hard. I keep saying this with Call of Duty games. I just don't see how there's going to be anything that really, really captures my attention. I mean, the trailer looks good. The fidelity is there. It looks very visually impressive. It could be just an aging gamer thing. I've just, I'm tiring of just the same carbon copied, first person shooter experience that Call of Duty has to be pigeonholed into. Because you see what happens when you try and even innovate a little bit in the advanced warfare territory of trying to come up with new ideas. And the fan base, like you said, Bruno, they don't want it. They're good with what they're doing. So well, I mean, in any case, October 28th, for the release of Modern Warfare 2 and then Warzone 2 soon after.
So if we're wrapping up on Call of Duty, I was looking at this list earlier. I saw a bit of what was recapped. There's a game on this list that when I saw it, I was like, Bruno, Nick, I know you guys have to be excited. And that is Cuphead, the delicious last course. I mean, come on. Yes. You guys love Cuphead. Tell me what you're thinking.
Ooh. I mean, I've been waiting on this game for a while now. They announced the DLC a while back. I want to say at least
they
a
announced
year,
it a
maybe 18
week
months.
after the game released is when they announced the DLC. Like
Yeah.
like Cuphead released, and then a week later they're like, "Don't worry, we're working on DLC, boys." And then 5 years passed, and here we are with you.
2 weeks away, dude. You're 2 weeks away.
We're almost there. I mean, and that's kind of the double-edged sword of just the quality hand-drawn graphics that you're getting from Studio MDR, right? Is that the game looks gorgeous, and I mean, it's one of those games you really have to drink in and appreciate each stage and each visual element, knowing that someone painstakingly took the time to craft that by hand, frame by frame.
The really fun thing about that is people handcrafted some of those levels that I've never seen, because I'm not gonna sit there and ruin my Friday night by trying to get through them all. I'm just gonna call it like it is and be like, apparently I'm not gamer enough to get through that level, or I don't, because just as soon as you're like, yes, I figured you out, the boss changes and so do the patterns, and you're like, it feels like the Impossible game, where you just get a little bit further each time, and you're just like, oh God, I don't want this. I don't want, remember the songs? I got them on here. Don't even make me pull them up, because I will. I don't know. I don't think
some of our TikToks. So that whole comedy bit. Yeah. We went there. Ooh. I'll take it.
I don't even know what this is.
Just a generic track.
Hey,
nice. Not the Impossible game.
This just sounds like we're gonna start a boy band. I don't know that's. It sounds like we're maybe for another time.
QT BTS. There you go. Oh, you love to see
clever.
it.
Whoa!
Thank you. Every now and then it's off the cuff. Well, I'll tell you, I mean, the game looks good. Like I said, we're not really seeing anything new, or there was some gameplay footage they revealed that definitely gets me excited for more content, but that's been a long time coming. Now, one game that was completely from left field, because I honestly never thought we were going to get another one, and it's Goat Simulator. We're getting Goat Simulator 3, which, for those of you who are keeping count and are wondering what happened to Goat Simulator 2, it didn't happen. And that's what I love about these guys. They just skipped it. They went straight to 3. That's how you do it.
Straight to 3. That's how you do it. That's the intensity of Goat Simulator 3. It skipped right over the second one. It was 2 was too much. So that's why they had to add another one. That's why 3 was invented. See, that's why I don't buy 2-in-1 shampoo, Nick, because you're not fooling me, okay? One's not big enough for 2. That's why it was invented. Okay. And 3, 2 was not big enough to hold 3, which is why we're at Goat Simulator 3. And that's an official review from QTB. You can put that on the back of the box. Put it on the back of the box.
That's some Bruno maths over there. I'm not quite sure I understood, but it's there.
It's not 2-in-1, but it is. So it's skip. Whatever.
It is
fantastic. But look, the trailer got me hyped. There wasn't a whole lot in these presentations that really put a genuine smile on my face. But the trailer for Goat Simulator 3 definitely did it. Of that boardwalk scene of and I once I saw the goat headbutt the lady right off the I'm like, okay, here we go, and it just evolves into instant chaos. That's what you want with Goat Simulator. They're offering what they say is more goat-based chaos. I don't know how that's possible, because the original, especially some of those expansion packs, there was a lot of goat-based chaos. They had a goat MMO. They had an MMO expansion. And they're adding 4-player multiplayer and a whole lot of more open world shenanigans. So look for that on PS5, Xbox.
I want to see more
Series
lore.
S and X. You want more goat lore?
I want more goat lore, obviously.
Yeah.
I want to get the backstory for what pissed him off. Obviously, we're talking like a 300 style story where he's a warrior gone out into the city to cause chaos and destruction.
Right.
But time will tell. Maybe that's what Goat Simulator 3 offers us.
I hope so. We have Husky Creative in the chat saying the Dead Island knockoff trailer did it for me. It was. They've been having a lot of fun with just look, and Coffee Stain Studios. They have an amazing social media presence. They've been killing it on socials, and they haven't put out a game in a very long time. They've been relying on just the residuals of Goat Simulator, and I think most people are okay with that. Good times. Well, another game that we saw is Gotham Knights coming up October 25th. Again, we already knew about it. We just got a little more information about Nightwing, and we're looking to see, Arkham Knight kind of set the tone and set the standard, right, for rather the series of Arkham Knight. Will it be able to live up to that? What are you seeing, Brad?
That's the big question. Expectations. Arkham Knight was fantastic, right? And so can your fan base is going to bring that expectation into Gotham Knights, and that's never been a good recipe for success for these next games, right? They're always seem to crumble under the weight of the pressure, under the expectations, and get nitpicked and torn apart for the smallest things that really, if it was the first release, probably would have been reviewed as a good game. But your baseline now is so much higher that you have very little margin for error.
Yeah, definitely. What are you seeing, Bruno?
I'm excited. I liked what was the last one, Arkham Knight, what was it? Arkham City? Was it Arkham Knight? Was that the last one? Yeah, well,
a lot of Arkhams.
A lot of Arkhams. The one where you were Batman and you were running around the city, like the other ones where you were Batman and running around the city.
Around the city, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that one. I like the one where you were Batman and running around the city. That one was nice. So to me, if you get to be some of the other characters and run around the city, that's really cool. Now, here's what I don't want, okay?
Yeah.
Batman has a huge arsenal and a huge, tree of skills that you can tap into within the game. I don't want this to be a pared down version of that where they basically are like, Batman's still the number one guy, but this person kind of does this and this person can't do that. Because at the end of the day, what you're probably going to be wanting is a combination of all the characters on screen in terms of their abilities. So I hope that like Brad said, that we get something that doesn't feel pared down, that it feels full, that the skill trees are expansive for each of these characters. So that way you can, it feels like, first of all, it needs to feel like each character has a role to play and that there's only certain things that character can do, and not to the point where it's like, I only use this character to open doors.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're good at, is opening doors. This character's good at kicking ass, and this character's good at, spying on people or whatever it may be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be that. Like, I want it to be all encompassing and us to have different portions of the map that really play to these different styles and these characters. So hopefully that's what we get. I'm still looking forward to it. And I think we're finally in this time, Nick, where with things like Cuphead and even the new Call of Duty coming out, right? Like the new old Call of Duty. That we're finally in a place where we can get excited about something, right? We're not just sitting around fiddling our thumbs being like, what do I play? So I'm excited about everything else that's coming up. What else is on the docket, right?
I was going to say, and what we're seeing is that a lot of these are slated for the fall, right? So like you said, Bruno, there's going to be a lot of variety, a lot of choice, a lot of flexibility to pick what you want. Everyone's going to find something that goes up their alley in the fall 2022. It's going to be a good year for games. It really is.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I did like about this, the Xbox thing. The very first thing they said when they came out with the Xbox Showcase was all these things that you're going to see will be out within a year. And that's what we need to see in gaming. That is the right approach. I'm tired of the PlayStation approach. Yeah. I'm tired of it. And if you're a PlayStation fan and you can't tell me that you're a little bummed about it too, then you're lying to yourself. Because how many times has PlayStation come out with a trailer for something and then not delivered within 3 to 5 years of the finished product? Quite a few times, to the point where some things were even scrubbed. I'm not saying Xbox isn't, it hasn't experienced that too, i.e. Scalebound. We all remember that amazing piece of work that we never really got to see. But the point is, you've got to temper expectations, right?
Yep.
This can't be like No Man's Sky where you release something and then we get all hyped about it, and then you release a little bit more of a trailer and we get all hyped about it, and then you release a full trailer and we get all hyped about it, and then the game comes out and it sucks. You know, and now it's good. You know, several years later, 5 years later, we're, you know, or 8 years later, or whatever, we're back to where we want to be. That's the approach that we need. We need that. Here's what's coming up, you know, and Nintendo has been doing a great job of it, right? Like Nintendo comes out with a Nintendo Direct and it's pretty much like, and you can play these today or at the end of the week or next week or whatever. Like, you know, that's the great thing. When you hear an announcement from Nintendo, you know that you're getting something very soon. And that's what we want, you know?
That's what you want, man. Well said. And look, we got, you know, so many more games to kind of work our way through here that I'm just going to keep this list moving. I want to touch on a bit is Marvel's Midnight Suns. This one is going to be very cross-platform: Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Coming out October 7th, which is, I think, a very unique direction that Marvel IP is going in. Right, we've seen just about every genre under the sun for Marvel's just path to conquest in both
and now we're seeing it
gaming.
under the Midnight Sun.
Under the Midnight Sun, there you go.
Exactly.
And in the form of a card. Thank you.
That was like right on when Brad did that too. So if you're not watching the live podcast on our
that
YouTube
was not
page,
planned.
like,
that was just telepathy. That's telepathy
I mean,
right
you're
there.
missing out. These are the things. These are the. Thanks, audience.
You know, we never skip a beat. It's like you never left, man. And yeah, I mean, Marvel's Midnight Suns. Yeah, this is a card-based strategy title that is from the same team behind the recent XCOM reboot. That is taking one of the more I guess unknown team ups, right? The Midnight Suns, and creating something fun. I'm excited about it. I like the idea of a strategy based game for that's strictly almost kind of a turn based strategy like we're seeing with Midnight Suns. We haven't seen a whole lot of actual gameplay. But I mean, yeah, show me Venom, show me Spider-Man, show me all these unique Marvel characters. Like I think Magic is one of them. That you don't see too often in other IPs. So teaming up with Wolverine. Yeah, I'm in. I want to see this game, and if it gets good reviews, I'm definitely going to be playing it day one. Wow.
Sassy.
Epic cinematic music. There you go.
Yeah, that's what we need. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm on board. Sign me up.
Yeah. There you go.
Speechless. I told you. I am ready with the things you don't even know. You don't even know. This was Brad.
You did not just pull the moon theme from DuckTales. I love it.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Man. Well, I'll tell you, a lot of great games here, but again, we're just going to kind of keep scrolling through. And one of the things that I got to touch on is once again, how many times have we talked about our hype for this game? TMNT, Shredder's Revenge.
2 days. 2 days.
It's
the countdown is very on.
Yeah.
I am so freaking ready. And we got a double whammy here because in this presentation, they revealed Casey Jones. Bruno Stradamus usually takes the cake with gaming predictions, okay? Anyone that's listened to the podcast knows this.
Yep.
But I had my time in the sun, okay? Because for those of you that follow us on TikTok, your boy put out a little something, saying, oh, hey, I did the sewer surfing jingle, right? Okay, saying that, hey, I really hope they add Casey because I want to be beaten up on the Foot Clan with a hockey stick, okay? And sure enough, in this one, they reveal Casey Jones as the final playable character, right alongside, I believe, Master Splinter and also April O'Neil,
and here
rounding
he is
out the
to
roster.
Perform it live. It's Nicholas.
Oh, there it is. Hold on. Here we go. Shredder's Revenge is crazy. I really hope they add Casey so I can slap a Foot Clan with a hockey stick. There you go. Yeah, it comes in later, but I wasn't going to make them wait that long.
And what's incredible is because with the addition of April O'Neil and Casey Jones, they're supporting their new 6-player co-op mode. 6-player co-op mode.
6 players, dude. Yeah.
It's gonna be
so the
incredible.
online shenanigans is going to get crazy. That's a lot of on-screen action. I'm ready. This plus that arcade collection coming later, it's such a great time to be a retro TMNT fan.
I mean, I think we need a little QTB, 6-player co-op here on Shredder's Revenge, man. Dibs on
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Michelangelo. I want my nunchucks.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's all about who
No.
selects them first. He said no.
No, sir.
Can we be
You
two
were- you were a-
Michelangelos?
You were a Donatello all day. That's
Heck,
what you are.
no way, bro. Well, I mean, I do have
We
a
don't let you
big
pick
dick,
two of the
but-
same character.
Dude,
You could be Michelangeli.
Whoa!
Is
Sorry, folks, this is
Michelangeli
a
the
PG
plural
show.
of Michelangelo? Nice. But in any
Wow.
case, yeah, I mean, depending on when you're listening to this, you might already be able to play it, right? June 16th, very close to our recording. So finally get to play it. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope it doesn't disappoint. Going right down the list, and we talked about this a little bit, Brad, on the last episode with Justin about the Callisto Protocol. Again, not a whole lot more here that we're seeing, just that we have that release date of December 2nd for those survival horror fans. Now, coming up here, and this is one I definitely want to talk about because this is a very interesting development, and that is The Last of Us Part 1 is getting a full remake for the PS5. Now, this is, so apparently it was leaked. A lot of people already knew this going in. Nonetheless, I think a lot of people were holding out maybe that it wasn't true because it seemed a little bit unusual, and I think potentially unearths kind of a concerning trend in gaming, which is to take an IP that is not that old, really, and to put a lot of money into not only remaking it, but charging that full $70 price tag. Now, in the trailer here, I got to tell you, it looks good. It really does bring the part 1 of the game up to part 2 standards and even exceeds it in some ways. A lot of side-by-side comparisons showing the lengths they've gone, and I think there's also a movie in the works as well. So The Last of Us is getting kind of the white glove treatment right now. But what are you seeing here, Brad? I mean, do you think this makes sense? For someone that is, we've talked so many times about the PlayStation, exclusive bubble, right? And then this will be out on PC. Do you think it makes sense as someone that played the original to shell out another $70 to play it again?
No. I think this is a business strategy by Sony for the PS5 platform where they are struggling to have high-end exclusives that do well. So to counter the long gap in development and exclusive titles, they are remastering or, upscaling successful games in the recent past to benefit from the hardware and this tech specs that the PS5 delivers. So to me, it's a way to buy time, and people will be like, oh, well, I want to see how good it looks. And so I will buy it again because I want to relive that experience and it be even more real life. It's going to look so good. But I mean, I only think you're going to see hardcore fans be willing to shell out $70 just to see a white glove treatment version of part 1. I mean, it's just, so for casual goers who've played it once, loved it, that aren't a huge fan, this is an easy pass in my opinion.
I'm going to unleash the hounds, Bruno. Give him the business.
Oh, yeah. There's not much left to say. Brad kind of said it, right? I think this is one of those things where, don't forget, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there like a Last of Us remastered for the PS4 or something? Didn't they come out with something? Or
right, so that's kind of the trend that we're seeing. Yeah, The Last of Us Remastered was a game that came out. So anyway, I believe it was like a 20. Right now, you can get it for like $20. But and people are even showing the remastered version for the PS4 versus this one. So yeah, this is. I mean, you look at Skyrim, you look at GTA, and just how many times can a publisher sell us the same game at full price?
Okay. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto is a little different because there's an entire online component with it that is going to entice people to continue to upgrade the product. Makes total sense.
Right.
But for a single player experience to just kind of, upgrade it, with every console like this, it's just another one of those things like I've always talked about with PlayStation. It's a nickel and dime type of thing. It's a way for them to, beef up fidelity and say, here's $70, pay us monies, so so that we can still be relevant and you'll be happy for a bit, right? Like this isn't anything new. So I don't know. And it's honestly a very weird timing that it would come out like a week before the Xbox showcase, as if to say, hey, look at this. Why wait until right before the Xbox? It just makes no sense. I'm not saying that, PlayStation is known for having the best marketing out there. Guys, if you want some help, be sure to hit up Pierce Unlimited. That's right.
Heyo.
Pierce Unlimited for all your marketing and media needs. Go to pierceunlimited.com and we can help you figure this crap out, because these are simple mistakes. Okay, obviously. Okay, Pierce Unlimited has worked with some great companies out there, and you could be one of them, Sony, and turn this ship around. Okay, let's turn it around, boys, and give the people what they want, because I got news for you. They've kind of lost touch, in my opinion, as to what really makes them great. Everyone says the exclusives, right? It's the exclusives, but we're not talking about exclusives from 10 years ago. We want new stuff, right? Like there's gotta be something out there that gets us excited to say, hey, I want to buy that console just for that game. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's not even all of the original game. That this new one is not even going to include the multiplayer mode. It's just
that's important.
It's just the campaign and the prequel. So there's no multiplayer mode, the factions multiplayer mode. And then you look at the trailer, and there's very few shots of actual in-game footage. It's a lot of cinematic cutscenes. So how do I even know it's gonna look that good when I buy it? Right? It feels like a big ask. It really does. And that's being generous, like saying like, oh, come on the ride with us one more time. But
you're raising good points here. Mm-hmm.
I think the one aspect that we're overlooking are people who have never been on the PlayStation train and have never experienced The Last of Us at any
Bruno,
point in its history.
Think about it.
I'm just playing
pick any successful Xbox title that they would regurgitate again in a more refined, elevated, cinematically beautiful experience. I mean, I don't know how many times I need to replay the same game that just looks better. Like, I don't know, like that's what this feels like to me. Is like it's another way to buy time, replay a great game that looks even better on the next console version that you've bought now that you've already paid $500-$600 for. Pay $70 more to experience a classic on the new one. Like, okay, what about backwards compatibility? With less features.
Yeah.
Give me backwards compatibility. Let me play the remastered one that came out not too long ago on my super powered console. Like, where that should be the model is, let me subscribe to the new subscription service that just came out and let me play it through there. Like, why do I got to spend $70 for this upgraded one?
Yeah, you're gonna get a time demo at best.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, no, I know. I completely agree. I think that, and like I said, the audience that I was speaking of has got to be a pretty small audience, right? Like if you're just now jumping on the PlayStation bandwagon, which I don't think there are that many people, right? Like that there's that many new customers who have never had a PlayStation before. That's who we're targeting, right? Saying these people have never had a PlayStation before. The PlayStation 5 is their very first console. They've never played Last of Us before. Here it is for PlayStation 5. I can see that being a good buy. But you've got to wonder how big that pool is, right? It's got to be small.
The supply chain justifies that that's not a big pool. They've been having issues manufacturing the PS5. So how can you say that there's a big demographic who owns PS5s who's never played this game that wants to buy it for the first time?
Now, here's the interesting thing.
That's not the play here. That's not the play.
And I know we've got more to get to, and we'll get there, but I got, there's already rumors that a new PlayStation is going to be coming out. And, I know that there's a lot of people that have yet to get their hands on the PlayStation 5. and they're probably wondering, well, that's stupid. That sucks. I haven't even gotten the PlayStation 5. Well, good news is that with the addition of any new console, the old consoles become increasingly easier to get because the scalpers then move to the next console. I mean, we're seeing it right now with the Nintendo OLED, right? The Nintendo OLED edition is very hard to come by, but you can actually go into any store now and pick up a Nintendo Switch, which is something that you really couldn't do a year ago. Yeah. So, without the release of that, I think that you tend to get that type of stagnated production and whatnot. I think that's why the Xbox Series X and S are doing so well in terms of, yes, there's a lot of people that want the Series X, but if you can't find it, you can actually find the Series S. It's actually, you can go into a store and pick that up.
The Series S is readily available. It's always in stock. It seems like it's not hard to find at all. So
yeah.
So I mean, I hope that maybe there's a small subsect of people out there that will look at this and be like, you're right, this is perfect for me. But I think most PlayStation fans are waiting on their Xbox showcase of sorts. So we'll see what they come out with, and if it will be within a year, because there's more games on this list, right, Nick?
We've got a ways to go here, but I mean, as far as the Summer Games Fest is concerned, I mean, there were some other things here, but we have a whole other showcase to get to, so I think we'll kind of wrap it up for that half of it. But overall, I thought this was a very encouraging presentation. There was a nice variety of games, even other games we didn't get to touch on, like One Piece Odyssey and Stormgate, that a lot of people are excited about.
Saints Row, Street Fighter 6. I mean, there was a good amount of games on the list for sure.
Yeah, Guile without Guile's theme. I'm just saying. I like the hair, but come on, that's what you need. I didn't hear it, so
that's why we come, okay? Listen. If you ever need to summon the courage of 1,000 wolves, if you need to be mightier than an eagle soaring through the air, or have more determination than a trout swimming upstream to spawn, or is that salmon? Right. One of those fish.
One of those fish.
That swims upstream. Then you need Guile's theme. Okay? It gives us the power to do what we can't do. I wish that we could add sound effects to the opening of soda cans, and that, I could open up a can of whoop ass and Guile's theme would play.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I'm chugging away like, wait, I got you.
Chugging confidence. Dude, you were just, I mean, man, this is just weeks of pent up soundboard nonsense, just all getting unloaded at once. Oh my God, I love it. Well, look, I will tell you who inspires confidence for me, and that has got to be our QTB supporters on Patreon. Don't worry, Bruno, because I've got the music. No, I mean, that's a good one too. I'm just saying.
What was your music? Go ahead.
Hold on, because let me push the button. There we go. Hey. Thanks as always to our Patreon supporters, like our QTV and Fuego supporters, Epic Capture Productions, Matt.Bat, and Alexa, and our QTV Plus supporters, Nick, The Dudist Monk, Indie Gamiacs, Alan Abadessa, Mr. Grove Games, The Intergalactic Pinecone, and Fluffy Bunny. I told you, Bruno, this adds a little something. Oh yeah. Don't forget, tiers start as low as $2 per month at patreon.com/quitthebuild. Give you access to the pre and post show that you don't normally hear on our RSS feed or on our YouTube channel. And you're going to get access to our QTV Nostalgia Vault. This month, we're talking about the glory days of TGIF and the classic sitcoms that graced us back in the 90s. You don't want to miss that, so make sure to check it out again at patreon.com/quitthebuild. We appreciate you. There you go. You like that, Bruno?
I love that.
It's
was awesome.
It's a nice little bopper.
That was a nice little bopper. Yep, I liked it.
Trumpets get you every time.
They really do. And I've got tons of music, but none that sassy None
No,
that's
not
none
sassy.
that's
Well,
no none.
Yeah.
Not that your jingle and you, Bruno, are not a great pairing, but Nick and his jingle are a great pairing. And you know what also was a great pairing? Xbox and
What do you got?
Bethesda. I'm just saying.
Oh my
Segue.
gosh. There you go.
What a segue.
That is a good one
And
because this is
That's right.
a
We're
big one.
transitioning.
Yeah, you got the better transitions. I'll give that to you every time.
I just felt like I went
Yeah,
through
so,
puberty
I mean-
on a 90s sitcom show.
Yeah.
I was
And
Hannah
look, we had
Montana.
a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of great
Recognize.
yeah, it was Hannah Montana. We had a lot of great individual publishers that put out their reveals and their expos as we went through this. And even some interesting themes, right? VR or just kind of focusing on I think it was one about empowering female developers, but also this one is kind of the capstone, right? Many people were talking about the Xbox and Bethesda showcase recap, and look, we'll get into the bigger picture here. But like you said, Bruno, the focus on this was what games are you going to be able to play in the next 12 months? And
Yep.
that's important because, as fun as it is to get these shocking reveals that no one sees coming, we've already talked about many times about, the Perfect Dark reveal, just completely missing the mark because everybody knows it's so far away that there's just no reason to get excited. So I think kind of tempering expectations and having games out there for the most part with real release dates attached to them really changes the perspective of what we're getting. And Phil Spencer did a good job, I think, beforehand of going to the press and saying, hey, you're going to see some gameplay. You're going to see a lot of games you've heard about before, but you're going to get more information about those games. So for the most part, I think this presentation hit those marks. And we're just going to kind of go down the list here of what we're seeing and give some reactions. So Redfall, a co-op first-person shooter, of course, from Arcane, one of the Xbox games that will be available there day one on Game Pass. Essentially, it's just Left 4 Dead, but kind of with that vampire spin. We knew about this one already, but it looks good, right? I think this one's going to be a really nice feather in the cap of the Xbox exclusive lineup.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Yep.
I'm saving my energy. I'm saving my energy for
Bueller.
another one. I got another one that I'm more excited about.
No, yeah, you're right. I definitely got that feel, Nick. I got that, which is interesting because I feel like, that's honestly, that's the feel. That's the feel. I'm not saying it doesn't look cool, but you're, Brad's right. You're kind of like, I get you. I get what you're doing. It's a little bit different, but Left 4 Dead is what I got out of there, or Back 4 Blood. Now, you've got that same style. So, we'll see what, more comes of it. And I think that it's just, like I said, I think we're getting to the point in our age as gamers is that we're able to recall like, oh, this is just that with a new bow on it, like a new name. Yeah. And that kind of takes some of the fanciness away, right? Like that
it
takes
kills the
away
magic.
Yeah, exactly. It loses its luster.
I don't want to bounce around the list too much. I kind of want to move on from that. There's one I saw that from a concept seemed cool, but I have to think Bruno was a little pumped for, and that's High on Life. Okay.
Oh my God! Please,
from the guys who created Rick and Morty.
Oh my God!
You're basically, it's a first-person sci-fi FPS where you're using you're fighting off a drug cartel who's trying to turn humans into these weird hyper bongs. Like, come on, Bruno. If there was a first-person shooter that involved bongs, this is it, and this is for you.
This is the one.
I gotta tell you, this is gonna be a good one, boys. Okay, I don't even care if the gameplay sucks. You had me at Morty talking to me as a gun, and then they slipped JB Smoove in there. What? Yeah. Okay, that is what I'm talking about, boys. That's the magic. That's what we need in video games. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This makes no sense whatsoever, and it's perfect. Like, it's because it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? Get off your high horse for once, games. Like, really, like, why isn't it fun to have a knife called Knifey? who says stabby, stabby, stabby every time you go in for a kill. Like,
that's it.
That's exactly what gaming should be. It's ridiculous. It's that Conker's Bad Fur Day. It's the Duke Nukem. It's the some of the Saints Row stuff that's come out before, where it's been more cheesy and very breaking the fourth wall. And I think that that's important, right?
Yeah.
Like, this seems to me like it's not necessarily about the gameplay. It's about the hilarious experiences that you're going to get out of this, and already looks like it's going to be so much fun. I'm super excited for this.
And it's
one.
Playable day one on the Game Pass. I mean,
seriously.
That was a big one. That was a big reveal. Look, the Game Pass thing alone. Yeah.
Seriously, this is why you play, right?
These are the kinds of things that we need. Look, and part of me wants to go back and say, okay, well, maybe it's not. Maybe it is just me aging as a gamer and looking at these generic horror first-person shooter experiences and just like being whelmed, at best. But
Yeah,
I think there is a problem. And look, I'm gonna say it, guys. Controversial take, maybe. I think video games peaked back in like 2010. I think we've been on a downhill decline with the length. I know the length of time it takes to produce a AAA game, but the lack of originality, right? The fact that these giant publishers are basically looking at games and saying, well, make it more like Call of Duty, right? They don't want to innovate. They just want to get those carbon copies that boost their bottom line. How many times has a massive publisher like EA made an offer that a small indie game studio couldn't refuse, only to then shutter that studio a few months later? I see this happen a lot, and it's so hard to see games like this that really pop off the screen and make me say, oh my goodness, I'm interested in what that's all about. It doesn't even need to have Rick and Morty attached to it. It's just a very innovative and fun and wacky idea for a game that we need to see more of, and that if games want to get noticed, they need to provide more of. Because when we got to like the Diablo 4 reveal of the new Necromancer class, I was so tuned out at that point of just like, it's another, look, it's more, uncomfortable. The rat's eating the skeleton, and it's dark, it's gritty, it's whatever. That I'm just, me personally, and this is always going to vary from gamer to gamer, I'm just sick of it. I'm not interested in that type of thing. And I get it, Game Pass and Xbox, they cater to everybody, but I there were so many low points in this presentation that this was one of the few, I think, high marks for me where I was like, yes, fun, unique, got my attention.
Definitely. And I think that that's, not to beat a dead horse, but if you know me, I'll say it unapologetically, that's the attraction of Fortnite, right? That Fortnite is not afraid to go there in terms of being stupid or silly or, to having the imagination of a 9-year-old. Like, that you get all these adults saying, game for little kids. That's 9-year-olds game. I don't play 12-year-olds. I got news for you. You're playing with 12-year-olds in every game, okay? It doesn't matter if it's Fortnite or if it's Call of Duty. There are little kids playing every game. And to embrace that childlike imagination and spirit is what makes it fun. That's what makes it hilarious to go around and see people dancing over somebody after they've just killed them, or to see Batman actually use guns against Marshmallow in a fight for, this piece of land. Like, there's so many crazy things that you can say about Fortnite that you can't say about any other game. And that's what this game is going to be. This High on Life is going to be that. It's going to be those moments that get shared, and it's going to be hilarious, kind of like some of the interactions you have with NPCs on Grand Theft Auto. You know what I mean? I think the replay value is going to be in the interactions between you and the environment around you, and to me, it's like watching a Rick and Morty show, but being a part of it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some Easter eggs in there for super fans from Rick and Morty. So really, if you're a Rick and Morty fan, or if you're just into like really eccentric video games that might, bring you back to a time of when you were a kid, this is going to be it for sure. I'm ready for it.
You can't go wrong. And yeah, we have Husky Creative saying the Game Pass is OP. I love it so much. And also Winner saying imagination. Yeah, because that's what you need. You need a little imagination. I don't know, man. I'm tired of the dull color palettes and the just identical mechanics and buzzwords that just get tossed around. But here you have talking guns that shoot out of their butt. Okay. Yep. I'm in.
I mean, that it's what we want. We're kids at heart, right? And that makes us laugh, and I want Bruno knife, stabby. I'm laughing at it still. Like, I mean, but kind of looking at that on the list again, Nick, something that I think was kind of a big announcement that I don't think a lot of people saw coming was all the Riot games coming to Xbox. League of Legends, Valorant. Yeah. I mean, what's your I mean, you said there weren't a lot of high points for you. Where do you come in on that announcement?
This is a mixed bag for me. When they first started showing the trailer of kind of the different Riot games, at first I'm like, wait, are we getting like, League of Legends? Are we getting Valorant on console? That was the first thing that went through my mind, and a lot of people in the live chat too. So for them to then come back and say, well, this is like a perk of having Game Pass. I'm not taking away from it. Anytime that Game Pass adds something to what you're getting for the same price, fantastic. And it's great to see PC especially getting so much love with a lot of these releases. And this is a perk. If you're a PC gamer, you're gonna love this perk if you have Game Pass. So for those of you that may not have seen this, what they're doing is Riot Games is taking all of their titles, League of Legends, Wild Rift, Legends of Runeterra, Teamfight Tactics, and Valorant, are going to be essentially giving you access to their full roster. Okay, so I mean, I know eventually
of heroes too, or legends.
Yeah, right. There's some additional
that's
perks.
everything.
I think there unlocks their tempting player to acquire a new gamer base. Yeah. They're throwing like every agent at you in Valorant. So I mean, there's a lot to be had.
That's something enough for me to try.
Yeah,
that's like, as somebody who I'm not a PC player because I'm in terms of like mouse keyboard. I'm more of a controller player. That's what I grew up playing. I'm used to that kind of thing. But I can hook up my controller and I'm right here and I have the specs. I recently downloaded the entire BioShock collection for free, mind you, on Epic Games as they were giving it away, I think, last weekend.
Yeah.
And it's something that I'm eventually going to be migrating these two together. This PC gaming and console gaming. I was gonna say Xbox gaming, but console gaming, because I do have a Switch now.
Yeah, you do. That's right. Yeah,
man, you've been making some moves, my man.
I know, right? What? Who's this guy on the podcast now? What did he do? But no, I'm excited for this. This is this is something, like I said, where, so I don't want to jump into a game that's got a bunch of things that I need to unlock. So if you can give me everything up front, I'm much more willing to play or try out that game and test it out. But I don't want to be like, well, you got to drop $20 to get this character, otherwise it's not fun. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to play that. So this to me is interesting. I think it's a good thing. Nick, was there anything on here that you were excited about?
Very little. And that's what I'm getting at, is that, I really went into this thing with high expectations. And admittedly, I probably let myself down a little bit because there were some false leaks of saying, oh, hey, they're going to bring back Banjo-Kazooie. I don't know why I got myself bought into that, or we would get some more Perfect Dark. I just see so many Xbox IPs that didn't get any kind of reveal. And like I said, Phil Spencer definitely tempered expectations leading up to this. Now in hindsight, I see why. There's, depending on what you're into, there's some things here to get kind of interested about. Of course, the Forza Motorsport reboot looks good if you're into sim racing. Obviously, Bruno, you are. Yeah.
Well,
I'm into it.
Both the Horizon 5 Hot Wheels DLC and the Motorsport, right? Reboot. Like,
Hot Wheels was a good get. Yeah.
So that's a double win for Bruno, right? I mean, Bruno, like, you gotta be chomping at the bit here.
Okay, so one of the things that your boy got in his sabbatical was a Nintendo Switch, and the other thing was a Fanatec rig. I went ahead and bit the bullet, spent the money on a really good Fanatec racing rig, which I've got right behind me. and it was a game changer. It was a game changer for how I experience video games. So while the average person looks at this and says, it's just another, Forza Motorsport, I am so hyped, and I was disappointed when it was like spring 2020. I was like, I was hoping for this fall. Like it really was, but that's okay. It's okay because next week comes out F1 22, and that'll tide me over. And then so does the DLC, like you said, for Forza Horizon with the Hot Wheels stuff. Listen, Forza Horizon is a very fun game with a racing wheel. And I gotta say, if you're out there and you like racing games in any shape or form, and you are not jumping in on the sim racing bandwagon, even with something, affordable like the Logitech, you are missing out, because it changes the experience and it becomes something that is more than just you and the controller and the game, right? There's a separation from when you're playing a car game, but now the experience kind of comes together a little bit. It would be no different than holding a gun, and shooting something like in Time Crisis at the arcade, right? Yeah. The experience just goes up a notch, and that's what this is. So for me, this was a huge win. I was excited for this one, ready for that.
So I was going to say, I mean, Nick, we've been raving about different things we've seen. I'm going to flip the script, because you've been saying that all along here that you've been disappointed. I'm going to flip the script and go, what was your biggest disappointment out of all of them? If you had to pick one, you're like, wow, this really, really stunk up the joint. Like,
ooh. You really want to go there? Okay, let's talk Overwatch.
We got it. Yeah, okay.
Let's go there. Let's jump into this travesty. I'm sorry. I and this is what I'm saying about, like, I really think, well, I didn't quite say this before, but I really think we're in kind of a dark age of AAA gaming, where it really is falling on the indies to step up and provide the curated and honed in experiences that we need, because these ain't it. And I mean, look, Overwatch 2, it's a joke. To even call it a sequel is a joke. To say, oh, well, it's free to play, that was the big announcement. Okay, I would have been shocked if you would have charged me money for it. I wouldn't have been like, I guess I wouldn't have been like that shocked, but I still would have been like, come on, really? Like, it's the same game. And for them to try and make this big thing of it, I don't think we're even getting the PvE. It's just going to be the PvP to start. To say, oh, look, we got one new character. Great. Before you stopped everything to make Overwatch 2, you were putting out like multiple heroes per year. And now I'm getting one. Oh, it's Junkrat with a shotgun. Like, I don't care. The lore behind it, I don't care. I'm sorry, but it is such a stain on the gaming industry to come out and put the number 2 on something. At least have the common decency the Goat Simulator did, and just jump straight to 3. Acknowledge the outrage. Acknowledge the absurdity of it. It's Overwatch 3 now. We've canned 2.
Oh, hi. Thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
That's pretty much what you're telling me. Okay?
Yeah.
You're telling me
I'm a piece of garbage.
That's what Overwatch 2 is, obviously.
It ain't for me. That's what I'll say. I'm so past Overwatch. They will never get me back.
I was, which is coming from one of the best Mercy players in the game, people. You are missing out. I'm telling you. Okay?
That is a damn fact.
I'm telling you.
Oh, man.
But Nick's saying,
not up in here.
Not for
it's
him.
not gonna happen.
Not up in here for this guy. Well, I was excited to see that it was free to play. But you're right. And honestly, when you dive into Overwatch 2, I love the trailer. The trailer looked fantastic. It got me hyped. That's what a trailer is supposed to do. It's supposed to put some oomph into you as a marketing guy. I liked it. I was like, okay, this is what you need to do to kind of get people like interested again, right? Interested again. But you still have to like lift the veil and realize that you got an ugly bride, okay? She might be a good cook, but she is ugly, bro, because it's just a little bit different than Overwatch 1. Instead of a night map, it's a day map. Instead of a day map, It's an afternoon nap.
Whoa.
Because that's really what it is. An afternoon nap, okay? You're not getting anything substantial in this. And that's a problem, right? Like, that's a huge problem with this release. So free to play, great. I think that is the step in the right direction that Overwatch 2 needs, because I think free to play games are going to be a staple of the future. Now, whether or not they will get them right, i.e. Halo Infinite, is yet to be seen, right? Like, there's a lot that you have to do to entice people, right, Brad? Tell me what you need.
I'm just feeling frustrated that like they could have gone with any other name to make it a little bit different than Junkrat. It's Junk Queen.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, Junker Queen.
Come on, like, could you have gone like?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say that you wanted them to change it to like, instead of Overwatch 2 to like.
Oh, right.
No,
like,
Overwatch Deluxe.
Oh yeah, or Overwatch the what was the Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
What was the Grand Theft Auto?
Over Rewatch.
Or the complete remastered,
enhanced and expanded.
Yeah.
Whatever that was.
But I'm just
edition.
saying, like, that to me is a microcosm of this problem, right? The character doesn't feel new. It's just a regurgitated version of Junkrat. This is a watered down, regurgitated version of Overwatch 1. Like, I don't know. Like, I just, like, you're right, Nick.
Oh, he played the sound. Sorry, everybody.
Can we scratch that?
We went a few months without that.
Yeah.
Nope. It's back with a vengeance. That's right.
I mean,
excited.
How can you be putting out multiple characters a year on the original Overwatch, and then all this time, and you get one new character? Like, where did the development team fall off the map? Who left? Who didn't? Like, I mean, it just feels like this was just a dumpster fire rolling down the hill, and there was no way to. They just taped over it and threw some wrapping paper on it, but it's still a dumpster fire, you know.
It is, yeah.
I mean,
help is on the way. Yeah,
that's what they thought.
In all seriousness,
this Doubtfire.
Yeah, like Overwatch is a few years away from getting the Heroes of the Storm treatment. I just don't see the pro scene sticking around. I don't see players buying into this, but we'll see. I mean, look, we've already devoted so much time to talking about that process that, again, so little was even revealed here that, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, definite low point for me. Definite high point for me. Persona coming to the Xbox. So the Persona series, fantastic JRPG series, but has been a PlayStation exclusive for a very long time. And the game series, I never thought I was going to get to play. I put out a little bit of hope when Joker from Persona 5 showed up in Smash, thinking that they might port those games to console for the Switch. Never did. But the Xbox, of all places, not a place that is known for its heavily Easternly influenced games.
They're
like
changing
this.
that. They're
really trying to make the push.
They really
are.
are.
This is a great sign. A great sign.
A few months ago, there was even something in the news about how it outsold PlayStation in Japan. And so for the first time, right? The first time Xbox was like on the charts. And so they really are trying to expand their catalog of games instead of being the traditional shoot 'em ups that, you know, they've been Xbox has heavily been known for, right? Like Halo or Master Chief is our poster boy, but you know, these are great games to see come on the console because it opens it up to our culture as well, as basically saying, hey, there's more out there, right? Like there's more to be seen. The great RPGs of Xbox that you're already playing, there's amazing ones out there in a different format with a different play style, and that's what's really exciting, right? To be able to jump into something and say, hey, I'm gonna try something new for once.
You got it. But yeah, Persona, it's a landmark JRPG series, and we're getting 3 different games that are all going to be day one on Game Pass when that releases. Persona 5 will release on October 21st. Consoles, PC, Xbox, cloud streaming. You just can't go wrong. I am so excited to play Persona 5.
Well, and Nick too. You know, I know we're giving our fans an extra jam-packed episode tonight with Bruno coming back, but it'd be hard for us not to covered this Xbox and Bethesda showcase and not at least comment on Starfield? Can we?
We do need to. I will say one thing before we get there. The Kojima thing, it's cool that he's working with them for a game. That was, again, low point. It was such a brief blurb.
Yeah.
Nothing. And in a showcase that was supposed to be about things that you play in the next 12 months, to put him on screen creates that expectation of, oh, he's got something for us in the next year. No, it's just, hey, we have an announcement that we'll have an announcement at some point, and I'm Kojima, and I made games. And I look, he's an industry icon, don't get me wrong, but that didn't need to be there. But yeah, Starfield. Okay. So here's the Nick take on Starfield. Look, we've been waiting for this game for a long time. It is Bethesda's, I think, their first new IP in like 20 years, something crazy like that. That's how long they've been falling back on Fallout and the Elder Scrolls for them to finally move into new territory. This game, like we've been talking about, Bruno, with games that have been developed for a long time and they never quite see the light of day or are still a broken mess when they get launched. Yeah. I was so disappointed by what I saw with Starfield. And again, I know it's my brain. A lot of people talking about how it's like No Man's Skyrim, right? Is the two things that appear to get mashed up here. Of you're getting the No Man's Sky experience of planetary exploration and the Skyrim aspect of the RPG mechanics. When I saw the gameplay of just running around a base on a planet with a gun and just killing people, Fallout style, I was like, oh, this is just a shooter. Like it doesn't look particularly interesting. The gunplay didn't look that good. The fighting, it was laggy. It was a lot of graphical issues. I came away from that very concerned about what's going to happen with Starfield, which again, the launch is supposed to be sometime in 2023, one of the few games that we didn't see a solid release date. And I'm going to get in one more shot here. I'm looking at you, Todd Howard, okay? The last person who should have been on that stage presenting anything to anybody who has been around in gaming for the last 5 years should be Todd freaking Howard. The guy is a snake oil salesman. He absolutely pulled the wool over a lot of people's eyes and hyped up a horrendously broken Fallout 76 with the legendary words, "It just works." It did not just work. And for him to come out and do the same thing again, all that does is it sows distrust. There should have been other people that were up on that stage that were working to show us. I did not need Todd Howard narrating my Starfield experience. Your boy hit mute. Brad, what you got?
Yeah,
I don't get mad much. I just Todd Howard irks me, man. It's a pet peeve.
I'm
sorry.
I'm live reacting to Nick's rant. This, usually Bruno's the one that comes in with the heat, and Nick's, man, Nick, welcome to the show.
We've been waiting for so long for this game, Brad, and it's like, what else has Bethesda been doing?
Well,
all this time. Fallout 76 is a joke. The pit expansion, the game looks terrible and will always look terrible. The Elder Scrolls 6, God knows, must be 10 years away at this point. Give us something that gets us excited and come up with some original concepts. I get it, the space genre has been done before, but they just did a horrible job of showing us anything that would get, I think, an Xbox ecosystem gamer excited for this exclusive. This should be a big thing, and I've never been less excited for Starfield.
Yeah. I would say that the expectations are a big factor here, right? The time we've been waiting for a new exclusive from Bethesda, the expectations are through the roof, right?
Right.
And I can't, not to defend Starfield in any way, but just to defend whatever the IP was going to be, is going to face the scrutiny of fans like you and others who are really ready for something mind-blowing. It has to be an absolute banger. And anything less is a failure. There's no middle ground. And you're right. What we've seen so far lends us to think that it's going to flop. Now, can they rebound because there is no official launch date in 2023? Maybe. But, if history tends to repeat itself, it doesn't look good. And so I'm not going to be as energized as you have been about thrashing it here, but let's just say if I was a betting man, I'm not putting all my eggs in that basket. What do you think, Bruno?
I think they should rename it to Subpar Field.
Whoa.
That's it. Thanks for stopping by, everybody.
I mean,
I kind of had this statement. I kind of had this. We talked about this long time ago in a galaxy far away when we were just a Facebook group and nothing more. And we were talking about the release of Sea of Thieves and how Sea of Thieves was released and it kind of felt a little lackluster for fans. And now we look at the game and it's actually quite expansive. There's lots to do.
It's got its own ecosystem for sure. It's really developed.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the same can be said for No Man's Sky. You might be able to say I'm not going to say that No Man's Sky started this trend. I'm going to say that Sea of Thieves did. Yeah. But because No Man's Sky promised us a bunch and then delivered absolute turds to us. And so, really, I see Starfield being something that comes out that disappoints a lot of people like yourself, Nick, but I see it as something that a year down the road, 2 years down the road, it's going to be, I think that's what they're aiming for. I'm not saying that that's what it's going to, I think that I honestly think they're aiming for this to be a longer con. I don't think they're saying you disagree
valid.
That
no I think what you're saying is valid, but it's not acceptable given how long it's been since they've had a new IP. Like you can't have 20 years go by and then say, well, this is going to be the game, but then you got to wait for 2 years more for it to mature. Like that's
AAA gaming.
That
in
is
2022. That is it.
That's a rough bourbon on the it's neat.
It
you know
is.
What I mean?
You know what I mean?
That is a shot to the jugular.
It's something that it really is. And if you think of it as you know what I mean, like you think of it as either you can buy this now and let it age on your shelf and then it'll turn into a fine wine, or you can come back in a couple years and pick one up, for a discounted price or whatever it may be, half price, and check it out then. But I think that is what we're seeing with the future of gaming. I think gaming is changing and we're seeing things, we're seeing a shift where we can look at something and say, I think this is not the all-encompassing game that we've come to know and love. Nintendo should be aiming for that. Okay, it's unacceptable when Nintendo releases something like Mario Strikers, which is supposed to be a great game. I just picked it up, excited for it, but it was a little lackluster. It was a little lackluster in there. And for something so hyped and something that, came from the people that brought you Smash, and Mario Kart 8, right? Like this felt a little dumbed down. And so I think that when you're looking at games from now on, you really have to take into consideration the type of game that it is. Is it supposed to be an all-encompassing one package deal? Because if so, then it better have everything in it. Or are we looking at something that is going to be continually updated for the next 5 to 10 years? Because if that's the case, then, what happens at launch is a little less important as what comes down the road. It's what gives me hope for something like Halo Infinite.
No,
I was vastly disappointed.
I'm out the door, bro. No.
I was vastly disappointed in
I think
Halo Infinite's
that's a counterpoint
launch.
to your argument, man. That's a counterpoint because Halo Infinite has not delivered on that model yet. Like
you're right, it hasn't. We're pushing a year. We're getting ready to push a year since the release of Halo Infinite. So we're still under that umbrella, right? And
nothing's been shown to advertise that there's any sort of big changes coming. Where's Forge? Where's the co-op? Like we've got no indication that's coming anytime soon.
You're right. You're right. There's a lot left to be said, and what was delivered was delivered under that was an under expectation.
Here's
right?
what I would say, and maybe Nick would buy into this. Okay, if that's the plan for this game, then when you sell the game, give me a roadmap. Give me a 3-year plan. Show me what's coming in the pipeline to get me to warrant my investment. Right? Because if I'm going to sit on it,
I think that's valid.
You say, okay, here's the game today. Here's the game in a year. Here's the game in 3 years. Here's how it's going to evolve. And you do go, wow, I can buy into that journey. You're buying into an experience and an evolution, not like a one-time transaction, right? So if that's the experience I'm buying, fine. But I need to see it. You can't.
Well, technically speaking, you didn't pay for Halo Infinite.
Well,
it's a free-to-play game, so keep that in mind, right? This isn't something that.
Well, then,
so
then,
in that respect,
that's a knock. That's a knock on the subscription service, then, right? No, but I'm saying that's a knock on everything.
This should be a knock to Starfield, right? Because Starfield is charging you that money, or no, it's going to be an Xbox game.
It's Game Pass.
So that's what I'm saying. That this is a knock on the Game Pass platform, then, or the subscription-based platform. Is if you're getting all these free-to-play games where the developer's saying, well, you're going to get 30% of what we planned in 5 years at launch, and then you got to wait and kind of come along for the ride. The Nick in me right now is saying, screw the Game Pass model, screw that. Put out games that deliver day one, and then you buy them individually. If that's like the true black and white, then it seems like you say, Nick, maybe things have peaked and we're on the downhill. You know what I mean?
We do the same thing with Netflix and Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. It has been a very long time since we've gotten that, and then they finally delivered, and it was awesome, and it was great.
For a month.
Listen, here's the thing, right? Like, obviously, as a subscription service, you have to give people some type of updates, even if the game isn't 100% ready. If you're paying for that monthly and you're not seeing something, I think of it maybe as perhaps we are, and they did say something. They called it the Halo Insiders program. Right? Like, that's how they sold it. Whether or not we really recognize that marketing or not, or we're starting to see the change. I think the important thing is that we are a part of the journey when you buy in. So I think that's why there's hesitancy in releasing a roadmap up front to say, well, this is what we plan on releasing, because what if that's not the roadmap that your community wants?
Isn't something better than nothing, though?
Yes, it is. And so, you have to be transparent, right? That's the problem that we're seeing with these companies. It isn't the roadmap. It isn't the game that's released. It's the transparency. It's the leading us into these E3 expectations and then delivering something that, we don't know what we're going to get in the end, right? So Starfield has this great advantage right now to say, hey, listen, things aren't going to be, super, super lush on every planet, or, you can take that No Man's Sky route, right? And say, some planets are going to be dinky. I don't know what it's like. They might come out and it might blow our minds, right? But I think that it's something that falls into a different category of gaming now with AAA games, where we are investing into games as a part of the development process, right? Like, why hire QA testers to continue on with QA testing or do a small audience sample when you can just put it right there for everyone and then get a bigger sample of what everyone wants? And I think that, that's something that I don't think we'll ever see from Nintendo. Nintendo's not going to say, hey, yeah, you guys are right. You've been wanting this change. We're going to implement it, because that's not Nintendo's way. They've never done that ever. So to have a company that, is willing to maybe take that approach, I think speaks volumes to where Xbox, where their head's at, right? What they're trying to bring. And I think this showcase, to sum it up, I think this showcase was the type of showcase that showed where Xbox is going to go. They want to be more upfront with their audience. They want to bring in more Eastern, the Eastern audience, like Nick said, and they want to deliver really, really good games over a period of time. And if you're part of the Game Pass, you get to be part of that journey. Like that's part of the perks of being there. And I haven't bought a game in such a long time because of the Game Pass. And so to see the things that are coming not only to PC but to Xbox as well, I think it's an exciting time to be a gamer, especially on the Xbox end, because of what Game Pass can deliver. They just put Assassin's Creed Origins on there, the Ninja Gaiden collection. They're continuing to update it. And then on top of that, they're delivering day one games, unlike PlayStation. They're delivering no premium prices for these games, right? You get it as it is and you can, just go to town. And that's something that neither Nintendo or PlayStation are doing. And I think you have to consider that, when being very critical. That's just my dose of sugar with it. So
Nick, you buy that for a nickel? You buy that for where you at?
Look, a lot of people online had a lot of varying opinions of it. And depending on what you're looking for as a gamer, you came out of this with different results. I came out of it underwhelmed. Even though a lot of the games are going to be Game Pass releases, and I think, there was a need to go in with tempered expectations. I didn't see enough of games that I wanted to play. I saw too many games in this presentation that were generic horror, first-person shooter, just carbon copy. There's a problem when the Sea of Thieves announcing a new season is a refreshing break from the games that precluded it. I want to see more like High on Life that allow me to really get excited and see it something unique that, again, you normally really only get with these indie showcases. And that's, that's a different conversation in and of itself. Unfortunately, we just didn't have time to cover it on today's episode. But, to our listeners and viewers, make sure you check out all of those expos, because Capcom did their own. Devolver Digital always puts on a good show with their expos. They really have fun with it. And make sure to check out those indie games just as much as you're checking out these AAA games as well, because I think right now in gaming, the indie space is where a lot of the action is. And hey, a lot of those indie games are coming to Game Pass. They're coming to PlayStation Plus. So give them the time of day and support them.
Well, hey, Nick, you know where the action also is? Our website, our socials.
Oh my gosh.
Woo! You gotta,
Playtertainment came in, winner, and they took over our website. What happened?
I mean,
what happened?
You gotta go check it out.
Yeah, quitthebuild.com. Check it out. And we've got a lot of cool stuff there, a lot of great blog articles. Of course, our merchandise. We're going to have some new articles coming up very soon.
I
and
think
you
Bruno's
can't go
got
wrong
some
with that
merch,
swag.
right, Bruno, what do you got over there, my man?
What you got, Bruno?
Hey!
Oh, Quit the Build pillow.
Quit the Build pillows. What it do? The pillows are actually really nice. Got them from everything is produced from our website is from Amazon merch. So Amazon produces it, ships it out for us, and this was a quality win right here. I like you can get two different sizes in the pillow, and there's quite a few different designs from which you can choose. So all you have to do is just go to quitthebuild.com/merch and you check that out. And we also have a community.
Yeah.
We do have computers. We have a community page too with a Discord.
Huh? Terry, our Discord lord.
Oh, look at you with the Discord sound. I thought I got a message. Yeah, shout out, Terry. Oh my gosh. And I gotta tell you, ooh, nice, dude. He starts with the sound effects, and you think that's gonna be it. He's gonna drop a beat.
Yeah. The Discord, baby.
Get on there.
Right.
Get on our Discord. Also, we'll have a link to the Winner Discord because they've got a when you sign up there, you can join the QTB crew and represent with that stylish purple roll there. And kind of be a part of our the stuff we got going on there. Listen, guys, I'm going to be hosting live crane games, okay? I'm going to be literally providing play. We did this once before. It was a blast. on their live TikToks, the Weasel Ball machines. I'm going to be there kind of having fun, and I'll have the microphone giving play-by-play commentary as people play the machine. It's a lot of fun. Check that out. It's going to be on the next, Wednesday. There you go. Yeah, give me some Wheel of Fortune for this, because it's going to be a freaking blast. Coming up on the 22nd and the 29th, we're going to be doing those live streams. Make sure to check them out. We'll have more information coming up on socials. And yeah, that's all I got. Look, a long episode, but it kind of needed to be. A lot of content, and Bruno's here. He's been stewing on stuff for the last couple weeks and months, right? You got to talk.
Yeah, I did. I did. I got to came out, and what better way to come back than with an Xbox showcase to get me hyped. I'm excited about it. This was yeah, baby. That's right.
That's it. Love it. Oh, man. Well, Bruno,
Nick,
you got to get us out of here,
I was going to
buddy.
say, Nick, you know what I'm excited about?
Yeah.
You don't have to explain the ending this time.
That's true. How many times have we gotten caught and I'm like, oh, I didn't tell him how we do the ending, Some got it.
Not tonight.
Shout out to Liam. Pulled that off.
We did it.
Alrighty.
I'm ready.
Make it happen. We got a polka to take us out?
That was supposed to be hella cool EDM music, but this will do, I guess.
Okay.
For Nick and Brad, I'm Bruno.
For Brad and Bruno, I'm Nick.
And for Nick and Bruno, I'm Brad.
Peace out. What it do?
Hey.